Hi and welcome to the channel. I'm going to be working in my big Happy Planner, and I'm still trying to figure out the proper layout, how to set up my camera, and everything for the channel, so bear with me as I'm trying to figure that out. So my posting schedule might be set a little further back than my filming schedule, but I am going to still continue posting because it's more the ideas of layout, the ideas of different spreads, than worrying about exactly where I am in my life and you keeping up with what I'm doing. So how I use my big Happy Planner is that first row at the top of the page is generally where I put my appointments, whether I'm at work or home, whether we're traveling and going out for the day. It's my where I'm driving, where I'm going, what I'm doing, as opposed to all of my to-do lists and all of that. So the first section at the top of the page for my first day this week, because the first 2 days are from last month. So for the first of this month, I'm setting up a little heart from the checklists, and I'm sticking that in there because on the first I've got a court date, so I'm sticking that in there because that's happening before work. I'm then laying out a checklist block because I've got a bunch of things to do at work, at the office, and so I'm sticking that in to sort of block off a chunk of time that's sort of cohesive, that this is all happening at the office. I'm then going to put this big Think, Dream, Plan sticker down. Because the first 2 days on this week are from last month, they're blank, and so I end up using this page for to-do lists and checklists and shopping lists and things like that, but I like it to look nice when I start out my week. So I'm filling in some of that space with a nice big happy sticker. I'm then using some of this washi that has some really pretty sort of Victorian flowers and some gold foil. This is all of the washi tape that I used is the Recollections brand from Michaels. And all of the stickers I use are either ones I've printed myself or they're ones from the Mambi sticker books. I've got a stack of those. So now that I've filled in a bit of space on those first 2 days that are not really a day for me, I'm going to continue working on the first. And on my work days, I generally do a full day meal planning, and the reason I do that is if I don't plan that in advance, I won't eat. I'll go through my whole work day and forget to stop and take a bite of anything. So here I am flipping through the Mambi fitness sticker book, and I'm going to pull out the meal planning stickers, the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, as well as when I'm at the office, I do everything I can to try and get a bit of exercise. And I would, do a few walks around the block. I do a bit of speed walking around the block just to sort of stay active, make sure I don't just sit at the desk all day long. So I'm putting down a hydration sticker to make sure I remember to drink. I'm putting down a breakfast sticker and a lunch and a dinner so that I remember to actually pack a lunch. My big Happy Planner stays at home, and it's where I plan everything. It's where everything gets sorted out beforehand. And so I like to have everything written out, and I check it constantly. So as I check it, I'm going, oh, right, I need to plan for food tomorrow. And I start putting my food in the fridge and start making sure I packed a lunch and have breakfast ready. So that way I get up in the morning and I'll eat. I've got food at the office, and I remember that I want to exercise at the office. And because I know that's walking around the block, I put down a little step sticker, and at the end of the day, I'll check my Fitbit or my phone, and I'll just write down how many steps I did. And at the end of the month, I generally track my weight on my large calendar, and that just helps me to keep on track. I mean, I'm not going crazy dieting, but at the same time, I want to make sure I'm making smart choices. And this is helping me to keep my life on track, to meet all of my goals, whether they be for work, whether they be for my YouTube channel, my personal fitness, my children's academics. I just like to make sure I'm keeping everything on track and keeping progress reports, and that allows me to make sure I'm meeting my goals and my own expectations. I'm now flipping through the Mambi Color Story book, and I'm pulling out a few stickers that I'm going to use for full boxes. Even though they're not quite full boxes in the Big Happy Planner, I fill those in with washi, and it just sort of fills in some space, ties in the color of the spread, and looks really pretty. Again, I'm trying to maneuver around the camera, so I'm having to cut some washi tape separately and then fit it into the boxes after I've already got it cut. And I'm laying down some washi to fill in the difference between the full box, because it's not quite a full box, but I want it to fill in, I want it to have some color, I want it to have some sparkle, and because this is the washi I used at the top, I want to try and bring that into the bottom. So I put a little remember sticker down because I've sort of missed a couple of upload dates on my other YouTube channel, and I want to make sure that I don't forget that again. So layered on this color block, I'm going to put in a YouTube sticker that I've printed myself just so that I know that this is something I want to do. It looks great on the page. It blocks out a chunk of time while I work on those videos. And so now I know Wednesday I've got court, going to work, I'm going to make sure I eat, and when I get home I want to finish up a video and get it uploaded. This is some great washi tape I got in, again, a Recollections washi tape from Michaels. I use it to block off YouTube time. So I'm either going to be filming or editing or doing voiceovers or planning for a video. It just blocks off, this is time I am working on filming. I am working on the channel in some way with the videos. And I block it off and I can use it as sort of a cool checklist. I finish off the top and do like the reels of film. And then I fill that in with whatever projects I'm working on that I want to get up within the next week, either editing them, filming them, or uploading. Thursday's the start of my weekend, and so I want to make sure that on my off days I'm also remembering to exercise, as well as work on my channel and pay attention to my kids and make sure I don't drop any balls. So I lay out a little activity log, which will remind me that I want to do an activity. And it gives me the flexibility to say, okay, I don't have to go for a jog. Maybe I can go to the gym. Maybe I'll do some yoga. But it reminds me that this block of time is for myself, for my fitness, to make sure that I'm doing something. And again, I'm laying down some washi to keep pulling in those colors from the other page and to fill in some space and just add that sparkle, as I mentioned. And so I'm putting in my dinner plan because I will be home, so I need to make sure I've got dinner for everybody. So now I'm stuck with this dilemma of I've got this little blue strip from the actual planner, and I thought my activity log and everything would cover it up. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. First I was thinking I was going to cover it up, but I have the blue strip behind the workout log, so I'm going to do something else with it. The kids have a call on Thursdays on Hangouts, so I'm going to put down some washi tape under it, fill in another full box with some washi tape to fill in the rest of the box. So I put washi above and below this blue strip with a little bit of white space, and I'm just kind of using it as a ribbon, so it looks like the Hangouts sticker has a ribbon behind it. I like the way that looks. It adds the sparkle above and below, and now I've got another bit of full box pattern that I can either layer some other stickers over. I like to do that with my to-do lists and my chores. It sort of makes it a little less arduous, makes it feel fun. This is something fun I'm going to be doing, but it's a way to have it not be something I'm dreading when I look at my calendar. Oh no, this is chores. It's stuff that needs to get done, so if I can brighten it up and make it hopeful and make it pretty and make it something that needs to get done, it doesn't have to be doom and gloom, chores. It can be, hey, this is something that's got to get done, but it's pretty, and I'll feel better after it's done, and the place will look better after it's done. And so sometimes I'll use those full boxes of color to just sort of layer in, these are some chores that need to get done. Again, these top boxes are where I put in the what I'm doing, if I have appointments, if I'm going out of the house, or if I'm having people come over. So I'm putting a full box up on Friday because Friday is sort of a fun night for everybody. The kids get to hang out with their friends and I get my friends to come over. We have a game night, and it's sort of a standing game night every Friday. And even though it happens later in the evening, it's one of those things that I'm doing today that involves me to go somewhere or to have people over. So it goes in that top plan because it's something for me as well as the kids. I understand not everybody plans this way. Some people like to plan chronologically. It's just how my brain works and how I use my planner. So I've got my full box again on the top where I'm going to be putting in my game night, and anything that needs to get done before that I usually try and layer in there, but sometimes I move it around. So there's my game night. Yes, that is something I am doing today. That is an activity that is going to happen. And I'm going to use the rest of the day to prep for game night, having everybody over. I want to make sure I go for a walk. I need to make sure I get the laundry done. I used this dotted pink and gold dotted washi tape, again from Recollections at Michael's, that I use for checklists, because it's just this really pretty, but it's got these dots that I use as a checklist. And so I'm going to write in any other things that come up that I need to get done that day. And then I've got another full box that's going at the bottom. So I just put the washi tape right across instead of trying to match each day, because I'm realizing that I'm going to do that. I'm going to have the full boxes across the whole bottom this week. And then I've got my little chore stickers. Now these are just black and white printed off my printer, and the reason I print them off black and white, the laundry as well as the dishes and the mop and broom, is because then I can color it in with whatever I use to write on my calendar for this week. Whatever I'm using to fill in those boxes with, I'm going to color this in with the same colored pen so it all blends together. I'm also going to stretch some washi across 2 days on Saturday and Sunday, because it's the official weekend for my kids, not just for me. So I like to block that in and then put in a weekend sticker for Saturday and Sunday, because everybody's off. We are meeting up with some of my friends who have kids the same age as mine, and we're heading to the aquarium this weekend. So I'm putting in weekend adventure for my weekend banner, well as a little marker, because my youngest has gymnastics before we're going, and then on Sunday we're heading to a friend's place for lunch. So I guess I kind of do some of it chronologically, because that gymnastics is first thing in the morning and lunch is later on, so I put it before the weekend banner or after the weekend banner. But again, it's that these are what we're doing. It goes in that first box. This is activities we're planning. Now, I don't usually do this, but because I did treat that weekend banner as a 2-day thing, because it's the weekend, and looking at the beginning of the week, I had sort of blocked off 2 days, I'm going to use that same washi tape here on Saturday and Sunday to try and balance out the beginning and the end of the week. Most of my planning has 1 day at a time instead of doing a whole long spread for the whole week or stretching washi tape across the whole page. I usually try and block it off day by day, so there's that sort of mismatch and things don't just run the whole length of the page. They're sort of staggered per day, and I really like that look at the end. But because of the way the week starts with those 2 days, I'm just trying to add a little bit of symmetry at the end of the week to balance that out when I'm looking at the whole spread, so it looks like it belongs. Now, when we have a whole day out, I have to make sure I get up, get the kids breakfast, get to gymnastics, get back, and have some lunches packed for while we're out. In case they get hungry, I need to make sure they've got snacks in case they can't quite make it until we all get to the restaurant. So I'm filling in these meal planning blocks again to make sure that I don't drop any balls, that everyone's fed, everything's planned out, and I've got it all mapped out. And because we're going to be walking around the aquarium, walking all around the city, I kind of want to keep track of my steps. That's going to sort of count as my exercise for that day. So I'm putting in my steps so I can track that on my log. This washi tape is really great because each piece has a bit of foil and a bit of color. So as I stretch this across, I'm stopping and I'm going to take one of these squares to the day the kids have a call, because it's sort of it's a happy family call, and so I love you, and I put that on that little lovely little gold foil sticker there. And I'm thinking come Sunday, we've spent the whole day out we're going to spend the whole day out on Saturday, so come Sunday I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break. And so where I would usually track my chores and my YouTube channel, I'm going to take a break there and fill that with a nice little quote box. Add some sparkle. It fits with the color scheme. It brings in some of those pinks that are at the beginning of the week into the end of the week, but I don't need to worry about filling anything else in there because I am going to take some me time. And I do want to block a bit of time on the Saturday in the evening to make sure I get things tidied up and straightened away. And again, we're going to be spending most of the day down at the aquarium and in the city, so I'm going to fill in some of that with just a full box, again, to block in some time that we're all doing an activity. I had some rather bold geometric shapes on some of them, and then I had these lovely polka dots. So I grabbed these sort of leaves to have a softer block of color, still bring in lots of colors that work with the spread, but have it be softer instead of that more harsh geometric shapes. And again, I am going to have some tasks I need to accomplish on the Sunday, so I'm using this washi, this gold foil washi tape with the little pink polka dots, and I'm going to use that for my checklists. Now I'm going to do some work on my notes side of the page, and generally I use this to keep track of daycare set times. I don't always book the same hours for each day, or my little guy's only in daycare part-time. I use this section to keep track of exactly what I booked for what days. I use this section for the large things that don't necessarily need to get done on a specific day or in a specific time frame. I'll usually do that on the sidebars. If I'm going to be packing up some stuff to bring to Goodwill, that's something that's going to be done throughout the whole week, and it's whenever I can find time. So I'll put, packing stuff for Goodwill in this section. It's just my way of keeping track of those things that don't need to be done at a specific time on a specific day, but needs to get done this week. I'll keep track in here. Also, if I've got some ideas, my YouTube channel, I'll write them down here for videos to work on that I don't have a specific upload date for. That goes down on this part too. So there's my first planning video, or how I plan my week. They don't all look exactly like this. I like to switch it up sometimes, but this is sort of my plan, my layout, and how I use my big Happy Planner. If you're just starting out, I hope this has given you some ideas on how you can use your big Happy Planner. If you're a veteran planner, maybe this is a different take on things, a different perspective. Regardless of what's brought you to my channel, I hope you found something here that was interesting, that was helpful, that was inspirational. This is the Teddy Planner reminding you to plan pretty.